Today on Grizzled Weebs, we're going to be watching Shingeki no Kyojin, or Attack on Titan.
Woo!
Intro.
Keep that in there.
Welcome to the Grizzled Weebs, where I subject the Grizzled Geeks to the wonderful world of anime. Today we're going to be watching Attack on Titan. I'm Kirsten.
I'm Mike.
I'm Doug.
Today we're doing Attack on Titan. Do you either of you know what Attack on Titan is?
I've seen the Giants.
Okay.
And initially when I heard Attack on Titan back in the day, I thought it was some kind of space. Yeah, we're like, oh,
space anime, sweet.
It's like Saturn's Moon Titan. We're like,
oh, okay, I get
we're
it.
gonna Attack on Titan, and then
I see.
I've been corrected since then. It's
You would
Attack
think
off Titan.
Attack on Titan would mean there was some place called Titan that was getting attacked.
Sure, yeah.
So,
So you thought space. That's
yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
I heard it and I was like, I don't even know what to expect. I don't know.
I saw the with the Hyundai commercial with the live action
Oh,
anime.
I don't think I've seen that.
You see that one? It was back when
Stay
I think
away
the
from
live
all
action
that.
movie came out in Japan, and there was a Hyundai commercial, and they actually played it here, where they had like a guy's car in a Hyundai driving around, and these Titans, like these giants, whatever, were trying to attack it. I guess I don't know.
I try to pretend like that doesn't exist.
Have you seen? Yeah,
What are live actions? I don't even know.
Yeah. Has there been a good one? I haven't seen it.
well, we've seen the Because Science where Kyle Hill talks about whether or not those harnesses would kill you.
Oh
yeah.
Flipping around in the harnesses
Yeah.
would kill you. I think he determined that it wouldn't. That you could survive it, like if you had like fighter pilot style training, that you would be able to
I mean, technically
withstand
they
the
do.
G-forces. So
We'll get into that though.
Yeah. I don't know much about it. I just know that they have those little wire suits.
Yeah.
I've never watched it.
It seems kind of impractical to fight giants in I haven't seen it, so I'm not sure
Sure.
how they do it, but it seems kind of impractical.
Or why?
Yeah.
Yes. Like most anime, this started out as a manga. It was done by Yasuku Kobayashi. Sorry. In, I'm going to butcher this, Basatsu Shonen Magazine. You'll hear shonen a lot with animes like this. Shonen is basically the word for boy action. It's like for little boys who like fighting anime and things like that.
That's sexist.
It is sexist, but it is what it is.
It is Japan.
It is Japan.
Because everybody I know that likes this is female, actually.
There's a reason for that.
Oh, okay.
Not a good reason. But
Not a good reason.
for shonen, you'll see like action, mechs, you'll see space fights, like anything that's like you can think of
Testosterone-filled.
stereotypically male enjoys these things. That's what shonen will typically be said.
Let's pick more of those then. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll have plenty of them, trust me. So it started in September 2009, and it continues to run as of December 2017. The manga
They still
itself.
haven't figured out how to beat the Giants?
I mean,
Oh, that's a long time.
it's been a 6-year run, which is really good for manga. WIT, or WIT Studio, picked it up as an anime in spring 2013, and it drove the anime crowd crazy. A lot of people say that this is like the animation of a generation. Or so like every generation has their like iconic anime that was put in. So there was like
Ours is Akira or something like that.
yeah, Akira, or
Robotech or something like that.
there's Naruto. People were obsessed with Naruto, and there's Sword Art Online. That's one of the newer ones that people are like anime of generation. Everyone's gonna remember this iconic anime of that time.
Nice.
So far, what do you think the anime is going to be about? From what you know and from what we've talked about a little bit, what would you think that this anime is about?
Well, I assumed that, from what I've known before, and for some reason, this walled city is getting attacked by giants, and they have to, I guess that you can only kill the giants by hitting them in the base of the spine or something like that, so they swing around on their little rope things.
Yeah.
I assume that there's character-driven bits of the thing, but I don't know anything about any of the characters.
Who do you think is the main character? Like, who would you imagine the main character of that story?
A someplace between 17 and 22-year-old guy who's like the hotshot pilot thing, like, like a Rick Hunter type person or something like that.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
Okay. All right.
And then you got to have a goofy guy who's like the comic relief. You got to have a girl that's in there that's like, oh, we got to impress the girl. And then there's if they follow like the Robotech model, there's the guy who's actually the best guy, but he's not the person who's, the main character.
Sure. Okay.
Nice.
So. You're not too far off.
Yeah, we watched some anime.
It's a formula, so yeah.
Sure.
I would say I'm a little confused. I'm curious about a lot of things. Like I know there's one giant that doesn't have any skin, but he doesn't look like any of the other giants.
Oh yeah.
For some reason. So I mean, he's like the classic one you see. You're like, look, the giants don't have skin, and you like watch the other ones, like they all have skin. So I don't know what's going on with that. It's a little weird because they got all these high tech, harnesses and stuff like that, but yet they're like
using swords.
They're using swords and riding horses, and they're like some of the buildings and stuff look like they're like kind of medieval looking. Yeah. So I don't. It's kind of a weird.
Hey, instead of building harnesses, how about making some projectile weapons?
Yeah, exactly. You got something to shoot with, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm with Doug. I mean, I'm picturing the same usual cast.
Sure.
All the heroes will probably be teenagers, and then they're the ones obviously flying around in the harnesses. So I don't know.
Okay.
Your usual cast of characters.
Sure.
Young kids. There's gonna be probably some kind of love triangle, and then.
Who do you think our main character is?
Our main character is he's like the hotshot pilot one. So probably he's either going to be, if they follow the regular formula, the new recruit. Like in episode 1, he gets recruited in or whatever to the new kid who's talented, but he's like inexperienced, and he's going to have like this old mentor kind of guy or whatever, like the expert guy who's training him. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm making all this up, so I could be totally off. He's like, this Grizzled Vet's the main guy. Yeah.
I almost don't want to tell you what it's about, so we can get into it, and you guys could be like, "Oh yeah," or "Oh no."
Yeah.
So Attack on Titan is dystopian future, where giant creatures known as Titans have been destroying humankind to the brink of extinction.
Explain where the giants come from, or?
Not in season 1, at least. And it's possible they do in the manga. It's just that the seasons of anime haven't gotten to that point yet.
Got it.
And I've only seen season 1. I didn't like it. That's why I never watched season 2.
Oh, that's unpopular opinion.
But it's possible in season 2 they cover it. I just don't know myself.
I don't care
to. Or it's possible I did go through. I don't know.
That's at the G2 Kira.
Anyway, all that live are few. All the live are few. I don't understand what I'm trying to say, but essentially, there's only a few left. There's only like this small population left, as far as we know, that has built up a city made of walls upon walls upon walls to help reinforce that they stay out, because these things are like huge, and they're like uncoordinated man-child running around. Like they like just run into things and break things for no reason. So like a wall's not going to keep them out permanently, but if you have multiple, then at least you can keep the core people safe for as long as possible.
So there's only one city?
As far as we know, yes.
Okay.
They have like this, these giants have these insatiable hunger for humans, and it's not like they need it to survive, because they've seen them eat off of animals on the land. They've seen them eat like trees. Like it's not even out of need. It's just that like
they want to eat people.
They like torturing humans, and so they do it.
Nice.
Our main character, Aaron Yeager, he's a young boy who endures the first breach of giants through the city walls in 100 years. So for 100 years, things have been pretty quiet. Giants have kind of done their thing. Humans have done their thing. He loses family. He loses friends. And it's horrible and graphic, and we'll get to see all of it. He then decides that, this will all happen in the first episode, he decides that, okay, well, I'm not going to just sit around and let this happen to other people. I will get my vengeance, and then decides to join up in the, I forget what it is. It's like a corps of some sort where they train people to fight off these giants in case of invasion or like to reclaim land that's already been lost to them. So
the
it follows.
Corps.
Yes, yeah, basically. So it follows him, and it follows his best friend Armin and his adopted sister Mikasa. So what do you think? Do you think it sounds interesting? What do you guys think about it so far?
Yeah, the premise sounds cool. I mean, giants. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, fighting giants sounds cool to me. See, I was right. New kid.
Yeah.
We got this thing nailed. We've seen it already. We know what's going on here.
All right.
We just wrote the anime in our heads. Now
Right.
it was way better in my head.
That's what I was worried about. All right, we're going to go watch the first 3 episodes, and we'll be right back.
All right. Attack on Titan.
All right, we're back. So, what do you guys think so far? What's your favorite part that you've seen so far?
We'll let Doug go. Go ahead, tell us what you think.
My favorite part is Mikasa, the sister.
Yeah.
She's pretty badass.
I agree.
I'm disappointed we don't find out why, or we really haven't given an indication of why, but she's pretty awesome.
I should mention, at least I know that there's 2 seasons out right now. There's on Crunchyroll, I think 49 episodes, 39 episodes. So there's plenty of time to get that covered.
Right.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
we've only made it a tiny little dent in it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I don't. Okay, we'll go through your list. I want to skip ahead, but okay, go ahead.
What do I think of it?
Your favorite part so far, right?
My favorite part is basically the concept itself, right?
Okay.
I like the idea of these giants attacking the city.
Yeah.
And, this walled city. Although there's certain things that are just kind of crazy, like, how massive the walled city actually is.
Yeah.
Kind of gets to me. I don't know. Overall, I think the concept is cool.
Yeah.
Redesign. They need to start adding giant spikes to like inside a faux wall. So if the giant tries to kick the wall open again, it'll just
impale himself on
some spikes.
Well, the thing is that they haven't encountered anything like this before. All they've dealt with are those tiny titans.
So
They've
the
never
colossal
seen a
one,
colossal
all the roided up skinless giants, they haven't seen.
They're new. They're an evolution or something. Something's going on that they're turning into these things. So
fair enough.
I agree with you. I think that the best part about it is the concept. Like, there are so many different things and so many questions that could be answered. Like, how did it get this way? And how did they build those walls like that? And, how did technology fall back so far behind that we're now medieval? Like so many questions of, how we got to this point.
Steam powered, I guess.
Yeah.
And if those omnidirectional tools are steam powered, how do they pack that much steam in a little belt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like little.
They should have like boiler plates on the back of their, like little boilers on the back of their suits.
Or maybe it's like compressed air, like compressed oxygen.
Compressed air, yeah.
Sometimes whenever it goes off, it's got the steam going.
It's still higher technology than they've exhibited anywhere else in.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So I didn't even see electricity,
No.
It's just been
Burning candles and stuff like that.
All right, so least favorite part about it so far. What's something that
angsty
you've not
ass
enjoyed
Aaron.
it? Yeah.
The main character is not likable.
Yeah.
I don't like him at all.
How do you expect to fight if you're so loose on your feet?
Here's the thing: is with a show, with a movie, with a YouTube video, whatever it is, you have a certain amount of time to catch your audience and haul them in. You've given me no reason to like the main character and to continue watching this guy whine about crap. I mean, yes, you lost your parents. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But he's just such
He was
a
angry
whine.
before he lost
He
his
was
parents.
angry and just this whining
Just constantly
with
filled with
no
anger.
real reason behind it yet.
Right.
And
there might be, we
just don't know yet.
We don't know yet. But
that's what I'm saying. You've got to give us something. You can't just, it's a mystery that'll be answered later. It'll be a mystery. You can't do that for everything. You got to hook us in with something.
Yeah.
You're right. He just brings his arm back. It's so fucked up.
It can't just be questions.
Right.
It's got to be a reason Mikasa's so loyal to him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, at this point, I'd be like, hell with this guy.
Well, here's guess the other thing is that unless I would have told you that she was the adopted sister, you would have known why is she following him?
Yeah, they wouldn't tell you anything.
Why does she have any dedication to him? Like, what is her... She doesn't look like them, so clearly she's not their child, so what's going on?
Well, you would have thought they were... Because they ate together as the family, but then again, the mother called her by her name.
Right.
Or
listen to your mother, not my mother. If they're adopted, then why isn't she your mother?
Yeah, so...
So I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's dramatic here. Okay, calm down. They don't give you enough. So
I have a three episode rule that even if an anime is bad, I will try to push through for at least 3 episodes, and if I can't get hooked by something in it, then I won't continue watching it. I had to force myself to watch this anime because everyone kept on telling me how amazing it was. I was waiting for that moment where I was like, oh,
It's
I get
amazing.
it now. I get it. Okay, it all makes sense. I see why it's so amazing. And I felt like that never happened for me, but clearly it's happened for a lot of other people.
Right. Yeah.
So favorite character so far?
Mikasa.
Yeah,
by
I agree.
far.
She's the only good character.
Yeah.
She's the only good one. We
Yeah.
haven't seen enough of Armin, or is that his name?
Yeah.
We haven't seen enough of him to really get a sense of who he is. And
But I feel like he's a better character than at least Aaron, right?
he's not as annoying as Aaron.
Yeah.
But we don't know anything about
He
him.
whines a little bit, but he's not like...
Somebody obviously taught him that, fighting, stooping to a bully's level is a bad thing, that you don't fight and stuff like that. But now he's joining the military, which is different. Obviously, fighting a bully and defending your city is different.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, none of the other characters do we really know anything about. And so the 2 main ones we've been, or I guess 3 main ones we've been introduced. One is thoroughly unlikable, and one's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, of the 3,
so
we'll see.
anybody who says that Mikasa is not their favorite character at this stage in the game is like, what are you seeing?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Potato Girl's
they're just
pretty
Drew.
cool.
Potato Girl's cool in that one episode. Yeah, but here's the thing. We're talking about
Relatable in the very least.
talking about what I don't like. I'll say the episode 3 kind of lost me. Like 1 and 2 got, I was like, okay, I'm into this, I'm into this. 3 kind of lost me when I was like, why do we need... It was just like, they stretched a training montage out into an entire episode.
Yeah.
And, it was like all about, his
But
defective...
it wasn't done well.
It wasn't done well.
Like,
Well, yeah, it's like, we're going to show you the main concept of this is being able to balance in this thing. But we're not going to explain to you how that happens.
Right,
Yeah.
just that some people get it and some people don't. And, Aaron doesn't get it. Just kidding. He totally gets it. His belt was defective.
Yeah, he's so good. He almost does it with a defective equipment.
Right.
Here's the thing with that episode. What you need to do with this type of episode, the goal in a normal anime would be to introduce secondary characters, right?
Yeah.
The ones that are probably going to get...
Which we did a little bit.
Well, yeah, the ones that are probably going to
Tiny
get killed off, but the ones to show enough of them that you care about them. Other than Potato Girl, and we only know her by Potato Girl because she did that one thing, we don't know any of these other characters, right? And they introduced them it wasn't really a great introduction to these guys.
Right.
So it really didn't serve as, all right, we're showing the progression of how the main guys are getting better. We didn't get that.
Right.
We didn't get a good introduction to these secondary characters. We didn't get that in the 3rd episode. So the 3rd episode was just kind of a waste to me. And it kind of gave me the sense that the series is going, like, if it's any indication, because that's part 1 of 2, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to see Titan fighting for a bit.
Yeah.
So I was like hoping, like, okay, so I figured the first one we see them attack, right? And then maybe we have 1 or 2 episodes where they're not, training or getting ready to come back. And then we get back into some Titan fighting, which is, to me, the best part about this, right?
Right.
But we haven't, and I get the sense that we might not for a bit. Like if we go like several episodes with no Titan fighting, no Titans showing up except for in flashbacks, then I'm like, all right, I can see where this could get boring really quickly.
So these harnesses let you know that they have propellant.
Yeah, I was
So why not propel?
they're cannon.
They're not cannons. And guns.
But the thing is that they're pretty much impenetrable until they're back. And it has to be like very piercing. You can't just be explosion or something like that.
Wait, you can't shoot him in the back of the neck? I mean, how does the bullet not work when a sword does?
Because the bullets, it
The cannon's not.
Maybe if you shot cannon.
Maybe,
It's like in D&D where it's piercing versus slashing damage.
They're magically immune to the piercing damage. You gotta have slashing damage.
Well, I can say that most of the intrigue for me was trying to figure out like how things got to where they were.
Yeah.
And they do cover a little bit, at least for some history of what's going on. And
Yeah.
I feel like if there was anything that really pulled me in the story was like, oh, that's an interesting concept. Oh, they're doing that. Okay. Like just figuring out why the giants are what they are. And like,
Right.
because a lot of the Survey Corps' entire purpose isn't to kill them necessarily. It's to
Study 'em.
understand what they are and maybe to kill them, to better kill them, but like to understand where they came from so that way they can better fight their enemy, I guess. And
Right.
that was the most interesting part to me. They do cover that a little bit, but I don't know, a lot of it was wasted. In my
I
opinion.
feel there's a lot of mystery going on, like, obviously with Aaron's father and the key and the whole bit, and
Right.
the kind of the messed up time.
Yeah.
You know,
there's
where
really strange timelines.
timeline going on.
Well, yeah, like didn't in the end of episode 3, like Mikasa seemed like she just blanked out,
Yeah.
and suddenly
Yeah.
Aaron was gone, and Potato Girl was sitting next to
Yeah.
her. You're like,
Yeah.
what happened there? How did that happen?
Yeah.
We covered this a little bit in we're doing videos of us watching it,
Yeah.
so that's something you can check on Patreon. But we talked a little bit about how there's these weird breaks in like timelines. So in the very
Right.
first episode, we open up to Aaron having some sort of dream about an attack. Maybe it's like a foreshadowing, or maybe
Yeah.
it's in the past. We don't really quite understand what's going on.
Right.
And then it happens. And then there's Mikasa. She has a whole thing where she's seeing some flashbacks too, and she says it's happening again.
It's happening again, yeah.
And then what was the other one? The other one.
Well, the
happened-
key showing up on like when
Oh, right,
right
yeah.
when they first get to the place where refugees showed up. He has a dream that his dad's doing something to him, and he's saying like like he says he's changed since mom died,
Right.
which he hadn't seen his dad yet,
Right.
And when he wakes up, he has the key,
Right,
so
which he
you
didn't
could
have.
you could pass it off as a dream, except the fact that he woke up and he has the key that
Right.
his
Which
dad
he
left
didn't
with,
have. Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
something's
and he
going
acts
on.
like that's normal. Like,
Yeah.
yep,
Right.
I knew.
Well, he looks down, kind of surprised, but then Mikasa starts talking to him, and then he
Then he puts the key
brushes
away.
it off. Yeah.
Yeah, but not. I mean, if that actually happened, we'd be like, where'd this come from?
Right.
Yeah.
So we've got some
But-
either broken up timelines that aren't being shared with us, or it's intentional. And I can tell you that from what I've seen, I'm pretty certain I've seen through season 2. I can't tell you for certain because I literally was watching it while I was doing other stuff. That's how boring it was to me. It was like I will pay somewhat attention to what's going on because I could not be bothered to continue watching. I would fall asleep trying to watch it. So.
Nice. That's ringing endorsement right there.
Yes, but I mean, this is for some people. I mean, there are people out here that will rant and rave about how amazing this is, and maybe that's just whatever the aspect of it that people like. It's just not my thing.
Right.
So I would definitely encourage you to at least try it. But I would say if you don't like it by like episode 5 or 6, it's probably not going to be your thing.
Yeah. The thing is, with any great mystery like this, like where the Titans came from, what's going on with Aaron, if they don't at least show progress towards answering those as the season goes on, like if you get done with season 1, there's like you know more than you did in the beginning, just more questions.
Right.
That's horrible. That's what
Yeah.
you got to have in order for a mystery to be interesting like that. You have to be fed at least a little bit of the answer,
Yeah.
right? Even if it's like one in like sometimes they do that and it's a misdirection or whatever, right?
Right.
As long as you get some of that, the mystery is enough to keep me involved for at least a few more episodes.
I believe when I was told to watch this, I was told that the first season is rough and to get through the first season. The first season, I'm fairly certain, is like 24 episodes. You can just push yourself through
24 episodes, yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's not-
trust me, I did push myself through 24 episodes, and
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's my thing. It's like everybody I know that loves this anime, me personally, and I'm old, so I don't know. Everybody I know that personally loves this is a kid, right? That I know of. And every adult I know that has watched this doesn't like it. Except for one. Which,
I've met a few people that actually like it.
So, other than that, I mean, most adults I met,
Sure.
for me anyway, are the ones that don't like it, and the ones that do like it are kids. I don't know if that says anything about the show, or maybe it's just, I'm sure there's a lot of adults that love this anime, but that's just my personal experience.
Do you think it's because of our background in, I mean, maybe not. You don't like it, and you don't have a lot of background in anime to be able to say.
Not a ton.
Yeah.
I don't,
I mean, I was
for
gonna,
me,
yeah, go ahead.
I like shows where I can get behind the main character.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm always, I'm somebody who's one of like the main character. It doesn't always have to be the main person.
I was gonna say, can you get like a second or like a side character?
Well,
or something?
It's got to be a core person.
Sure.
For like in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm a big Han Solo fan.
Sure.
But I can identify with Luke even if he starts off a little whiny.
Sure.
But they're all kind of main characters.
Yeah.
Ruby Rose, I get behind. I want to be able to like and enjoy the journey with that main character. If I don't like the main character, I'm not interested in continuing at that point.
Sure.
If you're like, there's nothing redeeming.
It's worse yet if the main character is annoying, not likable. But Aaron, at this point, I mean, he might get better. Right now, he's just whiny and annoying. I don't care for him.
With no explanation of how he got there. I mean, part of it, obviously, his mom died, but he was whiny and annoying before that.
Yeah.
So what happened to make him that way?
Yeah.
And you don't get it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of that broken up timeline.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah. Could very well be, but at this point, but like Doug said, if it doesn't drag you in the first 3 episodes,
if you don't give me enough to want to continue at that point.
Right.
Let's put it this way. This series has an amazing premise, right? I heard about the premise, and I'm like, okay, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Right? The Titans are awesome looking.
Yeah.
They're sufficiently creepy that, that uncanny valley of
Yeah.
creepy. Like I said, I find the smaller ones creepier than the giant skinless ones.
Yeah.
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 And there's brutal and creepy, and you're like, man, I want to know more. I want to see more. But if we're taking this journey along with people that we don't like, then it makes it, no matter how cool the concept is, it doesn't, you don't want to take that journey. You're like,
Episode 1 was so good. I
It
remember
was.
watching. I was like,
Yeah.
heck yeah! I could see why people like this. Like, I love gore, so to be able to see like
me too.
the explicit gruesomeness of like that was awesome, and then to see like people
creepy.
actually like it wasn't just like, oh, this is what
kind
I'm
of
fighting
unnerving.
for now. It's
Yeah.
like this has scarred me. I'm
Yes.
personally scarred by everything that I've just seen. So. It has such great promise. And what I'll say is sometimes when manga gets translated to anime, it doesn't get translated well because they try to hurry up with concepts, or maybe they don't want to follow the line of what the artist did, so they try to do their own thing. So it's quite possible that the manga is actually amazing, and I've not sat down and watched it. So
Right.
Here's his arm. You can bury that.
You're right. He just brings his arm back.
It's so fucked up.
So, have you seen the live action movie?
no.
No. I have a feeling that if they could pull off the creepiness of the Titans, I think I would be interested in that.
I feel like they could do fine with the Titans. I don't think that they could do the fighting scenes very well. I feel like that would be very difficult to pull off in CGI.
Depending on who did the CGI.
Yeah.
Like I could totally see like a big budget Michael Bay doing the panoramic view of the
It's never who ends up doing it. It always ends up being some
wouldn't do
creator
that, but I'm saying,
like loves the anime.
Yeah.
And not that that's a bad thing. I love that like fans are doing it because then it makes it true to the story.
Yeah.
Whereas with like DBZ, live action, we had things that weren't quite. So like I like that, but then we also get like things that are lacking that really made the anime. Like that's the whole point, or at least for me, that's one of the points to watching anime is that you can do things with cartoons that you can't do with CGI very well, or do with people very well. So to be able to translate that, it's like okay, well, you lost like one of the big points of watching this anime.
Right.
Right.
Or if they make it too American,
Yes.
like a la Death Note.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Still need to watch that. All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put this, Doug?
I'll be generous and say 3.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It has one redeeming quality, and that's Mikasa.
Yeah.
Right.
That is, well, I guess the concept, but
Sure.
but even that, I don't think that the fighting the Titans is the main concept. They just haven't gotten to the main concept, which is
Whatever.
not enough to hook you in. You know?
Yeah.
Something's going on with the dad. I think that's the main concept. Is something's going on with the dad. Like he's developed a drug to make you forget Titan attacks or some crap like that.
Yeah.
And he's testing it out on his kids
Yeah.
or some crap. But you don't get enough to know if that's actually what it is.
Right.
Sure.
And that would be a more intriguing story.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But it's kind of behind the scenes.
How interesting would that be to have a story where you've got a drug where you forget the fact that there are Titans beyond the wall, and so you just stay living in your life, and everyone's happy and peaceful for the rest of their lives.
Until the giant colossal one shows up and kicks your door in.
Yeah. Is ignorance bliss?
That was
or
the other
Ignorance
thing
is bliss. I
That's
totally
the other thing
let
that
go.
bothers me is why isn't that Titan continuing to tear down the wall so he can get in?
Right.
Why did he just
Unless
make an
he
opening for the
knows.
others and he's like, meh, all right, I'm
out."
done.
Unless he knows that he can do more damage that way. All he has to do is, like, with as little effort, is to kick a hole, and then the rest will figure.
Yeah,
Do
he didn't,
it
eat,
for
he
him.
didn't eat anybody. We don't know what his goal is. What's
That's
the
true.
colossal titan? What he's
I
That's-
can't
well,
tell you.
I might-
That's all
that's-
answered later in the season.
well, that might.
But-
Nah, not enough. Not enough.
Yeah.
I'll
Alright.
say I will rate it. My rating dropped dramatically every episode we went into this. So like episode 1, I'm like, oh, there's 7.5, 8.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be great.
Yep.
Episode 2, I'm like, all right, maybe a 7. All right, it's dropped to like a 4 by episode 3. Episode 3 was like, all right, 4.
Yeah.
Not. The concept is cool enough. Mikasa is cool enough that I would actually give it a few more episodes.
Sure.
But also judging by some of what my adult friends have watched it said about it, I'm like, I don't think it's gonna grab me in a couple more episodes. If I was going in like completely blind, I'd be like, all right, I would probably give it a few more episodes just based on the concept and
Right.
and her.
Right.
I'd probably a few more episodes just from what I'm gonna guess is not gonna do it for me.
What do
But-
you feel is the worst part about this so far? Like, what is really like that? That's it. Like, that's the breaking point for me. I can't do it because of this.
The storytelling. I can see where episode, you try to get a little hint in episode 2, episode 3. You're like, okay, the way this story is going to be told is not going to drag me into this, right?
Sure.
Bad enough that the main character is unlikable.
Yeah.
But the way the storytelling, they're gonna, the parts I want to see, or the mystery and all this stuff, the Titans and everything else, it's going to be drug out, and it's going to be. I mean, it's what it seems to me anyway. I don't know. Worst part for me is the fact that you're like, all right, it's following expected anime tropes, but then again, it's not following through with those. You know what I mean?
Right.
See, I think that if the main character were likable,
Yeah.
that would be enough to, even if with the drug out storytelling, that I would be interested in seeing what was going on.
Right. Oh yeah, I agree.
With the mysteries and stuff like that.
But
But
you
this
can't
guy
have
is so unlikable that I don't care to follow him.
Yeah.
Well, not even do I not care. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch you anymore.
Yeah. It's like
So if they could have fixed that somehow and made him a more sympathetic, likable character, because you're not at this point by episode 3, I didn't even sympathize with him that he lost his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he saw her eaten in front of him. That's horrific, and that would mess with a lot of people. But
Right.
The way they told the story and the way they present him, I can't even sympathize with him because he's so bad.
Yeah, if the protagonist was actually likable, you could go through a long form storytelling, right?
Yeah.
You could sit through episodes that you're like,
You
all right.
care about his character.
You care
though.
about his character.
You don't.
But if you don't care about his character and the action's not kept up, then you're like you said, you were bored with it.
Yeah.
You're watching it, and I have a feeling that I would be too.
Yeah.
If that's the way the storytelling goes.
Yeah.
So, I probably will not be watching the rest of Attack on Titan.
So first, Weeb approved or Weeb trash? Yeah, I think we're pretty. I mean, just from listening to all this, I think that's pretty funny. I think that in the future, I'm going to try a lot better, at least in the beginning, to abstain from my bias, so that way that's not a huge influence. Because I do worry that maybe a little bit of my negativity towards it did influence that.
But you weren't the only one.
Yeah.
So I've heard from several people that watch this who love anime.
Yeah.
Who are like, I don't get this. I don't get the popularity.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, and there have been plenty of anime in the past that were just like that. People don't understand why Naruto is as big as it was, or
yeah, they're gonna be people watching this going like, all right, they give a thumbs up to Trigun, but a thumbs down to Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
They're not gonna understand. We don't understand either. We like what we like.
Well, there were pretty big differences between the two shows.
Absolutely.
I will say that.
Yeah.
So, despite how much we don't like it so far, are you willing to give it a couple more episodes, or do you think this is it? You're done. You're not watching anymore.
I don't think I'll go on.
Okay.
Unlike Death Note, I was like, oh, this is cool.
Sure.
I'm intrigued by the story. I'll keep going.
Sure.
Although it's so long.
It is long.
but yeah, I mean, Trigun, I was like, okay, yeah, I could see watching this more. This, I can't see watching it more. Yeah. Especially from everyone I've heard from, minus one.
Yeah.
It's not even worth continuing for the full first season because you're not going to get anywhere in that first season.
Yep.
I'm like, can somebody just do a montage that gets us to
everything
where
sure
actually
that
something
exists out
starts?
Yeah.
When something interesting starts happening.
Yeah.
I will say season 2 does pick up. They were right when they told me that season 1 is slow and it gets better in 2. It does get better. Does it make it worth watching all of season 1 or watching the rest of season 2? I don't think so, but maybe for someone else.
I can't see me going on with this one just because I know so many people have said it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And if you have to get through a whole season before it gets good, before it gets watchable, I'm not going to invest a whole season into something that I'm not.
24 episodes.
24 episodes.
Not a short season. It's a full.
If it was 12 episodes, all right, I'll push through to.
Right.
But there's, not.
Now, I could be wrong. I did say I think that it's 24 episodes, but I'm pretty certain it was 24 episodes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, even still, a whole first season to get through before it actually starts getting good. And if we saw some character growth from Aaron between the first 3 episodes, if he's like, if you tell me by episode 6 he's no longer whiny and he's actually cool and you care about what he does, but no one said that, so I'm like, all right, well. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Well, that's sad to very many people out there. I'm fairly certain.
It's gonna be an unpopular episode. What?
Very unpopular. But I wanted to
tell us why
this.
we're wrong in the comments down below.
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, if there's a reason why you think we should give it the rest of the season or continue on, if you have compelling arguments why,
go for it.
Definitely tell us.
Yeah. So. And even rewatching it, I will say that the first episode was a lot better than I remember it. And that the second episode was a lot better than I remember it. So maybe it's not as terrible. The rest of it isn't as terrible. And maybe I was clouded through the rest of it. That's quite possible. That happens sometimes.
The middle of the season goes so boring, I forgot how cool the first one part was.
Well, the first part was so not fun and boring that I didn't give the rest of it a chance. Yeah. So that's possible too. So I don't know, maybe you do have a reason why I should rewatch it or why these guys should continue watching it. And if that is, then talk to us.
Change our mind. Or if you agree with us, don't be afraid. Tell us.
Please, just unleash.
Join us in the hate field.
There's not enough of us.
That's
what I have to say about that.
This is universally loved, which is odd.
Yes.
I'm I don't get it. But all right.
So if you like what you saw, please don't forget to comment, subscribe. Tell us down there in the comments why we're right or wrong. Also, if you have any suggestions for shonen anime that you like, maybe make suggestions. Everything that you need for information about all of our other shows and how to help us through Patreon or whatever have you is down in the underpants bar down below us. If you want to see us watching the videos, we will be doing episode per episode through Patreon. So if you become a subscriber, you will be able to see all of our interactions.
React to the whole episode.
Reactions. Thank you so much for watching. And next show we'll be watching Overlord as per request of Viamort Valkan. So it's one that I've not seen, and I don't think you guys know anything about.
Wow, well,
so
I'll be going in that one
we'll go
blind.
blind.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go blind. Oh, no.
I'll go blind. Wait a minute. That's, no. We'll watch it blindfolded.
All right.
Stunt.
Reactions while we're blind.
Yeah, stunt reactions. We got to step our game up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounded
Thank you
good.
so much, everyone. Bye.
Bye.